What up, and welcome back to another episode of Throwback Thursday, The Walking Dead. This time we're going to be reviewing Season 3, Episode 9, titled The Suicide King. So here we go. The episode starts out with where we left off last episode, which is Merle and Daryl Woodbury about to fight off in the arena, which is really just a little basketball court that they dressed up to look like an arena in quotation marks. The governor is like, hey, Merle, you said you decided that you picked Woodbury over your brother. Well, prove it. Now's your chance to prove it to these people over here. So Merle's like, gives a little speech while he's kicking the shit out of Daryl, and he says, you all know me, you know where my loyalties stand. I'm gonna prove it to you right now. He starts beating the shit out of Daryl. Daryl gets a punch back in between. Andrea jumps out and she's like, what are you doing to the governor? And she starts trying to tell the governor, like, ask him what the fuck is going on, while some of the security or guards at Woodbury hold her back. And she's like, stop doing this, please. He's my friend, let me talk to him, please stop this. And he's like, no, it's too late now. The people have spoken. They want blood. And she's just like, what the fuck? So as the fight continues, Daryl punches Merle, and Merle gets on top of Daryl, starts choking him, and Daryl's like, you really think that asshole's gonna let you go? And he's like, follow my lead, little brother, we're getting out of here. And as this is happening, they get up, and a bunch of other security bring walkers in and starts pitting the walkers against Merle and Daryl, on top of them having to fight each other to the death. Now they have to fight their way out of these fucking walkers too. It's just like the bullshit they were doing for the showboating thing on the last time that Andrew had a problem with, but now it's serious. And I don't know if these walkers have teeth or not. If they didn't have teeth, I don't know what the fuck the problem was, but it seems like they probably do. Then all of a sudden, we think either smoke goes off first or gunshots. Either way, our crew is there. I was wondering, did they fucking leave? No, they didn't leave. They were stood outside to come back, or they did leave, then they left, and they came back for Daryl. So they start having a shootout. Maggie starts killing people. She kills that girl that was on the wall with Andrea, who said she was a badass. Well, now she's dead. And that all of a sudden the governor is about to point his gun where Maggie's located, because he could see the gunshots or hear her. And Rick is at another end of inside the fucking arena, and he fucking shoots the lights out. And the governor looks up and has a smirk on his face, which means, in my opinion, that he kind of like, ooh, this is a challenge. These people are smart. They're good. But I mean, he should have known that already because of what they did earlier. And he should have not been, I don't know, the wrong direction in my opinion, but they went with that, with him smirking, instead of him being like, fuck, like who the fuck did that? Whatever. Merle and Daryl escape, and as they escape, they're going through area, because Rick's like, come on, let's go, where the wall is, and Merle's like, we got to go out through here, and they're like, we're not listening to you and all this shit, and he's like, oh, you're not coming with us, and he's like, do you really want to do this now? Like, I can't stay here, let's go. And they break out of the wall. So as they get out, a walker comes, like through the opening that they left, walkers start coming in. The governor is just walking through the chaos and the smoke, and he just walks and looks towards the direction they escaped from, and that's how the teaser ends. I liked it. That was fun. This episode is very good for the first half, and it peters out at the last act, pretty much. The last act is whack. So after the intro, we're on the road, and we see that Glenn and Michonne are waiting by a car by the woods, and waiting for Rick and everybody to return. As they hear a noise in the woods, they look to see if it's Rick, and it is. They approach him, and Rick's like, we got a problem. And they're like, what the hell's he doing here? What's he doing here? He tried to kill me. Michonne talking about Merle, and Merle's just enjoying all of this. And there's just pandemonium, this chaos between everyone's bickering and screaming at each other. Daryl's like, get that gun out of my face. And Glenn's like, you don't know what he did. It's because of him that we were stuck over there. He tried to kill me. You know, he threw walkers at me, and you don't know what he did to Maggie. And Michonne's just like, he tried to kill me. He's been chasing me down. And Merle's enjoying all of this, and he basically is the one that comes up and tells them, even though Daryl knew because he saw her, but he's like, oh yeah, she's with you guys. She was with Andrea. And Rick's like, what? And so is Maggie and Glenn. Glenn's like, Andrea's at Woodbury? And he's like, oh yeah, she's snuggled up with that governor or whatever. And Daryl says, yeah, he's real cozy with him. And Rick's like, you know Andrea? You know Andrea? Michonne's just not answering him. And this is a theme of this season, or this episode, I think it's this show in general of not telling everyone what you should need to tell everyone right away. Like Michonne should have, I don't know, I guess she didn't know who they were when she went to the prison, but I mean, now she could say, yes, I know. But Merle tells us everything, and Merle's like, oh yeah, they were real cozy. He's trying to imply that they're lesbians, that they were shacked up all winter. That's what he says. And now she left Michonne for the governor. Merle says, we took her in and we took care of him. And then Maggie's like, is that why she's with the governor? Because he took her in and took care of her? And Michonne's just like not answering nothing. She's just wants to kill Merle. That's all she wants. And Merle's not making the situation any better. He just keeps talking shit on shit, talking shit to Glenn, talking shit to Michonne, making them more angry. And Daryl's like, shut up, just shut up. But Merle's not having it. And Rick's like, bam, hits him in the back of the head with his gun. And then he looks at Daryl. Daryl looks at him kind of like, did you need to do that? And then Rick's looking at him like, of course, you know I had to do it. He wasn't going to shut up any other way. So then we go to the prison, and Herschel's fixing up somebody's wound and talking to Tyrese, and Tyrese is trying to get close to Herschel and this group so they can accept them as part of the group, because they do not want to go outside because they said it's not safe out there. They can't be out there any longer, and they want to be with these people. All of a sudden, Beth walks in with the baby, Judith, and Sasha notices the baby. She goes, oh my God, a baby. We thought we'd never see one again. And Sasha's like trying to, I don't know. She's asking questions about the baby, and she's like, how are you doing? Beth's like, she's not mine. And he goes, oh, where's the mom? And then, that's when that happens. And I think Tyrese makes a plea to Herschel for them to accept them in the group or whatever. And Herschel's like, it's not my decision. So we go back into, we go back to the road, and there's still battling or arguing with each other. Daryl's like, Merle's coming back with us, and Glenn's like, he's not coming back with us. You don't understand what he did, And he's like, he's my blood, and Glenn's like, this is my blood. Everyone in this circle right now is my blood. This is my family. And then Rick's like, and you're part of that, Daryl. Like, please, just don't do this. Don't force yourself to choose between your brother and us. Even though, I mean, come on, man. Blood is thicker than water, and yes, he is close with these people, and he is like a family member to them. He's not gonna leave his brother, even if his brother's a piece of shit. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't leave my brother. So, and Daryl decides to choose Merle. Glenn's upset about it. Rick is hurt more than anything. You can see in his face that he's really hurt. So he goes over to Daryl, and he's kind of like, don't do this, don't choose this, come on, we can make it work out some way, but you can't bring Merle back. Maybe there's another way. There's got to be another way. But he's like adamant, like, we can't bring Merle back. We can't keep him in the prison after what he did to Maggie and Glenn. And do you really want him around Carol or Beth? And Daryl's just like, he's a piece of shit, but like, I can't just let him. It was us before. It was just the two of us. It'll be us now. And then at the same time, Rick's like, but you're not that guy anymore, dude. Like, you're not him anymore. Like Andrea said, he's proved himself to be a valuable member of the group. He's no longer a fucking outsider. And it's true, he was created just by Frank Darabont as like a nothing, him and Merle. And they end up being like one of the best parts of The Walking Dead as characters. I wonder if Frank Darabont gets paid for Daryl on the Daryl Dixon show. If it says created by Frank Darabont, he should get some money for this. I hope he won that lawsuit. I don't know if he did or not, but anyway. So Daryl chooses Merle, and they leave. So then we go back to the prison, and the group and Sasha and Tyrese got to bury Donna. They're in the yard, and the guy, the husband, is looking at the group, and he's like, we could take this over. Like, we got a chance now. It's a little boy and an old lady. Like, we could just beat him up, and we could kill him, and we could take this over, and then we got to worry about the guy with the one leg, a convict, and a little girl. Like, we got this. And Tyrese and Sasha are like, what the fuck are you talking about? These people took us in. They didn't have to. We would have been overrun. That little kid saved us. We could have been overrun. In the tombs, we would have been dead. And he saved us. He brought us in here, and he's keeping us in. This is a good thing. We can make this work out. You're gonna ruin everything. And he's like, no, they're gonna throw us out. It doesn't matter. We could take this over. So all of a sudden, the son and the father are adamant that they're gonna kill our group, our people in the prison. And all of a sudden, the convict, I forgot his name, I'm sorry, and Beth come out with shovel and a pickaxe, and Tyrese and Sasha jump in front of the white guys to take the pickaxe and the shovel, and they go, we got it. And then they look at each other like, oh God, they don't know we just saved their lives. And they're like, do you need help? We can help you guys. Like, no, we got it. And then they look at them like, you're not gonna do this. And they're kind of pissed off that Tyrese and Sasha didn't let them do it, but they're like, whatever. We go back to the road, and the guy, our crew encounter. We go back to the road, and there's a car and a tree blocking the road to get back to the prison. I guess it fell, and I don't know where this happened from. They took a different route home, but they got to move the car. Inside, Glenn goes to help push the car out. He opens the door to put it in neutral or something, and a walker is in there, jumps out to attack Glenn, and Glenn just stomps the living hell out of his brain. And you can see everything that happened to him now is coming out now. Like, he let it build up, and now he's just broken, and he's gone crazy, and in a sense. And Rick's like, "What the hell?" And he just goes off on Rick, and he's like, "You let Daryl leave." Like he's questioning his leadership now, because remember, he was fucked up in the prison. Then he left to go help Rick get formula for the baby, and that's when they got kidnapped. And then he's kind of like really questioning his leadership, and then him letting Daryl leave. And Rick's like, "What was I supposed to do? I had no choice. I had to let him go. Was it you want me to kill Merle in front of him? And then do you think Daryl's going to come with us to the prison after I kill his brother?" And he's like, "Well, why'd you take Maggie? I should have been me. So I should have been helping you, not her." Like, he didn't want her involved in this. And it's like, you weren't in no condition to do it. And he goes, "But she was." So he really thinks something happened. And he doesn't even take her word for that nothing happened. So he thinks something happened. He didn't think she should have been participating in it, and he thinks he should have. But he was fucked up. He couldn't even climb up. He's kind of the reason why Oscar got killed, to be honest. But basically, Glenn's really questioning Rick's leadership in a sense. We go to Woodbury, and the people in Woodbury are pissed. They want to leave. They want to get out because they were basically invaded twice in one night, and people died. And they go, "People are dying. It's not safe here anymore. Let's go." The guards are like, "It's less safe out there. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to go out there? You're not ready to be out there to begin with." And they're like, "We'll take our chances. Open the gate." And Martinez and the other guy are like, "We're not opening the gate." And they're like, "You can't just keep us in here. We're not prisoners or whatever the fuck. Like, you gotta let us go." And they're like, "No." And then they start making so much noise that walkers come to the gate. They have to shoot the walkers, drawing more attention to the gate. And then there's a guy honking the horn like crazy. And Martinez is about to shoot this guy. And Andrea comes in and she intervenes. She's like, "What are you doing? You can't shoot him." And he's like, "Shut up. Who are you? Where's the governor? I don't take orders from you. You're nobody." And she's like, "Yeah, but you can't shoot me. You're just making everything worse. Like, we need to calm these people down, not aggravate them even more." And then you hear screams, which I don't know how anybody would stay after this. And they rush on over to where they hear the screams, and there's finally the walkers that got in because of our group getting out and leaving that hole in the gate. They finally, after 6 or 7 hours, they found people to eat, and they start attacking people. Andrea and Martinez go to kill the walkers, and I think the walker that's eating the guy, I think that's Greg Nicotero in makeup. I could be wrong, but I thought I remember when I watched this live that they showed behind the scenes stuff, and I thought that was Greg Nicotero. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, so they do... Andrea goes and kills the guy, and then the guy that the walker was eating is begging for help, and some of the people in Woodbury go, help him, why aren't you helping him? You're just doing nothing." And Andrea's looking at them like, "There's nothing I can do." And all of a sudden the governor comes out, just shoots him in the fucking head, and walks back into his house, and everyone's just looking like, what the fuck was that? We get a scene with Carol and Carl, and they're talking about Lori and how Lori was really proud of Carl, and she would be proud of him now. And Carl's like, "I keep thinking about how mean I was to her." And she's like, "You can't think about that." And he's like, "That's all I've been thinking about." And he almost breaks down crying there. But Rick comes, and then that's when Carol sees that Daryl's not there. And again, part of this fucking show, or part of this group, is not telling everyone everything at first. He does tell her that we ran into his brother, and he decided to go with his brother. And she's like, but her reaction too is not someone that's just friendly or a mother and son like relationship. These two had another physical relationship, especially here. Especially that when Daryl was leaving, Rick was like, "What about Carol? What do you want me to tell her?" That means they were involved, dude. There was a relationship there. So I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what happened. Did they ever address it? I don't know. I don't know if they ever addressed it or not. It makes no sense to me. If they were just banging, there's a bunch of episodes where it's just the two of them, and then she has to explain to Daryl why she left out of nowhere, and this relationship makes no sense. But it seems like it was a sexual relationship, at least at this moment. But Carol can't understand because she cannot fathom why he just left. Then we go back to Woodbury, and Andrea is now in the governor's apartment saying, like, what the fuck is going on? You're like, what happened? Why was Daryl here? Like, he attacked us. Well, what was he doing here? Why was he here to attack us? Like, what's going on? And why'd you just shoot that guy out there? And you come back here and you don't explain anything. You're making everything worse. And he's basically like, oh, yeah, well, Daryl was here because he was looking for his people that we had. He's like, you had his people? Yeah, Maggie and Glenn. And she's like, you had Maggie and Glenn? They were here? He's like, yeah, why didn't you tell me they were here? Especially after we were, fucking. No, she basically implies that. And he's like, why do I have to tell you? You're just a passerby making your way. So like, oh, shit. And then he throws in her face. She's like, my people were here. You didn't say anything. He's like, your people killed all these people. But it's like, yeah, because you kept their people. You kidnapped their people. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And then for Andrea to still defend this guy and trying to save whatever little shit he has, this just makes me think. Like, I remember, maybe I said this prior in season 2, but I said Lori was a shithead in season 2. Andrea is kind of a shithead in season 3. And necessarily so far, she's not really a shithead. She will be, because her trying to save the governor after everything she saw and everything just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. But we're supposed to suspend our disbelief, or the sex was that good, or I don't know. But she's just looking, and then Milton comes and goes, everyone's going crazy, whatever. And the governor's like he was earlier. He's like, fuck them. They're losers. It's enough. No more barbecues or anything. They could let them go. I don't care. Like, fuck them. They're going to die anyway. And then she's just like, oh. Herschel tells Rick that there's people in the prison, and Rick's like, oh, so he just walks right by them. And Tyrese tells his group, because they're kind of upset that Rick just ignored them, and they're pretty sure that he's the leader. And he's like, give him time, The people are screaming, saying, why'd the governor just kill him? Nobody helped him. What's going on? And Andrea comes out and gives the most boring speech ever. It was ridiculous. It was supposed to boost morale, and like this was like, we gotta leave. And she goes, no, the history books are gonna write about this when they write about this plague in the future and what we did, and they're gonna talk about how we built this community back up from when this attack was. And it's just like, if I was there in Woodbury and I heard this speech from her, I'd be like, yeah, open the gate, I'm leaving. You did not do anything to boost my morale. But they were trying to show her as some sort of a leader, and I'm like, bro, remember season 2? Like, she was an asshole. Like, she tried to fucking let Beth kill herself, and then she was like, yeah, well, she didn't want to kill herself, she wanted to live. Oh yeah, that was good. Then she was like, I want to fuck Shane, and then I want to learn how to shoot, and then what the fuck. Now she's like, the governor's great, he's crazy, I still love him. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Then this is when the show peters out, and this episode peters out. Glenn and fucking Herschel are talking, but nothing's developing. Glenn's not telling anything that happened. Then there's Maggie, and Maggie won't tell Herschel what happened, and nothing is developing there. Carol and Beth talk about Daryl leaving, and nothing develops there. She's just like, Daryl has his code that he lives by, and what he thinks is doing is right, or whatever the fuck. It was stupid. They were talking also about their kid, Sophia, and to remind us that she was a mom and she had a daughter. Then the other guy, the convict, is crying, and they go up to him, and kind of like reminding you, Oscar he did already integrate himself into this group, and he was a valued member for the short period of time he was there. They accepted him as a part of the group, because even Carl asked if he was okay, like, what about Oscar? And he's like, Rick's like, no, he didn't make it. So now this guy's like, Oscar was my friend, like when other guys would pick on me, Oscar would defend me. And he's like, and they're like, like he helped us or whatever the fuck. I don't know what Rick said, but it was kind of like it was sad. And this kind of leads into Rick not wanting to take Tyrese and them. They talk. Tyrese pitches, why they should accept them and everything. And Rick's like, I can't do it because, we lost this guy, and I just lost, like, my brother just left us for another fucking guy, and we almost lost Glenn and Maggie, and I can't accept new people to come in and be responsible. See, this is why also the ending makes sense too. So then Herschel says, please, like, Rick, you've done everything, you took care of us, please accept these people. And they all saying yeah, we should take them in. They seem like good people. And that all of a sudden Rick's about to say yes, and he sees Lori's ghost over there in white, but her face is blacked out, and he just breaks down and starts screaming. And no, but this is why he took it the wrong way. I actually think it was a good omen, not a bad omen in a sense, because she's wearing white, first of all. Second of all, on the phone, remember when he was hallucinating and talking to her on the phone, and she says that she loved him or whatever, and that he has the baby to take care of, and the people, like he's the leader, he has to take care of them. And I believe she was trying to say something else after all that, and it was, even though it was all the people on the phone that he had lost, he was speaking to, but they were all telling him, like, I don't know, I just feel like Lori, when Lori was talking to him on the phone, she was trying to tell him that he has to be the leader now. It's his responsibility. He's still alive. He has to take care of the baby, Carl, and the people. And now he has these new people, and she's there. She's not there saying there's death around the corner. She's there saying hope. Like, that's what I felt like that episode was about. I don't know if I made that clear, or the next episode. It felt like it was about hope more than anything. And this is her showing up is like, yes, accept them, but he took it like, you know, he lost already Oscar, Daryl left, and then all those people that he was talking to on the phone that day, he lost them too. And it's like all the stress is weighing down on him. And even the part where Herschel's like, you've done all this for us, you've gotten us this far, you made us safe and everything, like, please, and even brought my daughter back, but like, you should take these people in. But now all this is just crushing down all the weight. Even when he saw Shane in the smoke, remember, it's like all this is weighing on him now, and now he's just going, he just has a breakdown out of nowhere. And if I was Tyrese and Sasha, I wouldn't want to be there. They act like they thought he was screaming at them, even though he's screaming at a wall or at the ceiling where nobody is, and everyone else is wondering like, what, Rick, what the fuck? Everybody's freaking out, and he's like, go, just go, why are you here, go. And then Glenn's like, go, just go. So then they leave, and then that's how the episode ends. It was a good ending, kind of. Makes you think, like, was it a bad omen? Was it a good omen? But at the same sense, it also, I don't know. I thought it was a good episode in general. Just that peters out at the end when there's just a bunch of bullshit talking. But all in all, it was a decent episode. A good follow-up, I guess, to the last episode, which was great. This is a good episode. Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below. What did you think about Lori's ghost? Was it a good omen or a bad omen? Was he telling her to send these people away because the father and the son were trying to kill? We're going to try to take over, which that would have never happened. Or is it a good omen saying Tyrese and Sasha are good and you should take care of these people and bring them into the group? I don't know. Let's see. Tyrese even offered, like, we'll help with the new group. We could take care of, we could feed ourselves. We could contribute, whatever the fuck you want. He did a good pitch, I thought. Yeah, I like this. I like Tyrese and Sasha. I really felt bad. They killed Tyrese out of nowhere when that happened. So I was like, what the fuck? Spoiler alert if you didn't know. But anyway, yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this episode and the omen of Lori's ghost showing up at the end. What do you think? You know, what do you think? If you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new here, if you like the video. And I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.